His fist slammed into the seat beside her head. Rachel screamed. Her 8-year-old daughter was crying, trapped against the window. The drunk businessman grabbed Rachel's throat and squeezed. "Nobody tells me no," he hissed. 30,000 feet in the air. No escape. No help coming. Then she heard it, the sound of a leather jacket shifting. The man who'd been silent for 3 hours stood up, and when the drunk turned around, his face went white, because the quiet stranger wasn't just any passenger. He was wearing a Hell's Angels patch, and he was smiling, the kind of smile that promised pain. Subscribe now and stay until the end. Comment your city. Let's see how far this story travels. Rachel Turner was running out of time. 41 hours, no sleep, 3 gas station coffees burning a hole in her empty stomach. One phone call that had ripped her world apart. She gripped Lily's hand and pushed through the crowd at Phoenix Sky Harbor. "Mommy, slow down. Can't, baby. We'll miss our plane." "But my legs are tired." Rachel stopped, looked at her daughter, 8 years old, messy ponytail, clutching that ratty stuffed rabbit she'd had since she was 3. God, she looked exhausted too. Rachel knelt down. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mommy's just stressed. Hop on." Lily climbed onto her back, and Rachel stood, ignoring the fire in her muscles. She'd worked a double shift at the hospital 2 days ago, then a 12-hour at the diner yesterday, then packed their entire lives into one carry-on bag. Sleep was a luxury she couldn't afford. "Gate 24B, she muttered, scanning the signs. "Where the hell is 24B? You said a bad word. Don't tell anyone." She found the gate with 4 minutes to spare. The last passengers were boarding. Rachel sprinted down the jetway, Lily bouncing on her back, the gate agent shouting something behind her. They made it. Barely. Row 24, middle and window seats, the worst spots on the plane. But Rachel didn't care. She just needed to get to Boston. Needed to see her mother one last time before she couldn't finish that thought. "Excuse me." The man in the aisle seat looked up. Rachel's breath caught. Late 50s, face like worn leather, carved with deep lines. Gray hair buzzed short. He wore a faded black t-shirt under a jacket that had seen decades of road and weather. Reading glasses perched on his nose, a dog-eared paperback in his hands. His eyes met hers, cold, assessing. Then something shifted, a flicker of recognition she didn't understand. He stood without a word, stepped into the aisle. Let them pass. Rachel caught his scent as she squeezed by. Leather, motor oil, cigarette smoke. She settled Lily by the window and dropped into the middle seat. The man returned, his shoulder brushing hers. The space between them was inches. "Is this your first airplane, Mr.?" Lily, already talking to strangers. Rachel opened her mouth to shush her. "No," the man said. His voice was gravel and smoke. "I've been on a few." "How many?" "More than I can count." "That's a lot." "Are you scared of flying?" Lily, Rachel warned. But the man's mouth twitched, almost a smile. "No, little one, I'm not scared of much anymore." "Mommy's scared. She's been shaken all morning." "Lily." The man glanced at Rachel. She looked away, face burning. "Nothing wrong with being scared," he said quietly. "Means you've got something worth protecting." Rachel didn't respond, couldn't. Her throat was too tight. The plane lurched into motion. Lily grabbed Rachel's hand. "Here we go, baby." "Will it hurt?" "No, it'll feel like a roller coaster." "I've never been on a roller coaster." "Then this will be your first." The engine screamed. The plane hurtled forward. Lily squeezed so hard Rachel's fingers went numb. Then the wheels left the ground. Lily gasped, pressed her face to the window. "Mommy, we're flying." "The cars are tiny. Look." Rachel leaned over, pretending to look, but she was watching her daughter's face. The wonder, the pure joy. This kid had never been on a plane, never stayed in a hotel, never met her grandmother, because Rachel had been too proud, too stubborn, too hurt. And now Eleanor Turner was dying, and all those wasted years couldn't be taken back. "You're crying, Mommy." Rachel wiped her face. "Just happy tears, baby. Happy tears. Sometimes people cry when they're happy. It's confusing. Grown-ups are weird." "Yeah, we really are." Lily watched the clouds for another 20 minutes. Then her eyes got heavy. "I'm sleepy." "Then sleep. I'll wake you when we get there. Promise. Promise, Beckham. Lily was out in seconds, head against the window, rabbit clutched to her chest, breathing deep and slow. Rachel watched her, memorized every detail, the curve of her cheek, the tiny scar on her chin from when she fell off her bike last summer, the way her nose crinkled when she dreamed. How old? The man's voice startled her. 8. She's sharp. Too sharp. Gets her in trouble sometimes. Better than the alternative. Rachel risked a glance at him. He was staring at Lily with an expression she couldn't read. Sad. Distant. Like he was seeing someone else. Do you have kids? He didn't answer right away, just kept staring. Then I had a daughter. Had. Past tense. Rachel's stomach dropped. I'm sorry. Sarah, she'd be about your age now, 34, single mother, raised a little girl on her own. What happened? He turned to look at her. His eyes were ancient, haunted. Wrong man, wrong night. I wasn't there. 5 words, each one a bullet. Rachel didn't know what to say. Sorry felt pathetic. Silence felt worse. What's your name? She asked finally. Most people call me Stone. Stone, long story. I'm Rachel. He nodded, didn't offer a handshake, didn't smile, just acknowledged her existence and returned to his book. Rachel should have felt dismissed. Instead, she felt safe, which made no sense. She knew nothing about this man. He could be anyone, could have done anything. But sitting next to him with Lily asleep beside her, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Protected. She closed her eyes, just for a minute. Rachel woke to the smell of vodka. Her eyes snapped open. Someone was leaning over her seat, a face inches from hers, flushed, sweating, grinning. Rise and shine, gorgeous. She jerked back, heart slamming. The man was 40-something, expensive suit now wrinkled, tie crooked, eyes glassy and unfocused. Who are you, Just a friendly guy who couldn't stop looking at you. He licked his lips. You're way too pretty to be sitting back here and coach. Please move. Oh, don't be like that. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Derek. He stuck out his hand. Rachel didn't take it. I said move. Feisty. I like that. He leaned closer. I bet you're a firecracker in bed. Rachel's skin crawled. Get away from me. Come on, sweetheart. I saw you sleeping. You look so peaceful. So vulnerable. She asked you to leave. Stone's voice cut through like a blade. Derek turned annoyed. Mind your business, Grandpa. Stone didn't blink. This is my business. What, she's your daughter, your wife? Derek laughed. No ring, buddy. She's fair game. Walk away, now. Or what? You gonna fight me? Derek spread his arms. We're on a plane, old man. What are you gonna do? Stone stood. The movement was slow, controlled, deliberate. He rose from his seat like a mountain emerging from the earth, unhurried, unstoppable. Derek took a step back. Couldn't help it. Instinct. I'm not going to do anything, Stone said quietly. Not here, not now. Then sit down and... But when we land... Stone stepped closer. When we land, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to find out your name, where you work, where you live, who you love. Derek's smirk faltered. And then I'm going to make a few phone calls to some friends of mine, friends who don't like men who harass women and children on airplanes. You're bluffing. Am I? Stone smiled. It was the coldest thing Rachel had ever seen. My friends don't bluff, Derek. They don't threaten. They just show up. One night when you least expect it, and they make sure you never bother anyone again. Derek's face went white. You're crazy. Maybe, but you don't want to find out. They stood there, 2 men, one drunk and terrified, one calm and absolute. Derek broke first. This isn't over, he spat, but his voice shook. I'm going to report you. You're going to sit in the back of this plane and pray I forget your face. Stone leaned in. Now walk away. Derek walked, almost ran, actually, stumbling down the aisle like the floor was on fire. Stone watched him go, then sat back down, picked up his book. Like nothing had happened. Rachel was trembling. What the hell was that? Just a conversation. That wasn't a conversation. I don't even know what that was. You're safe, that's what it was. Who are you? Stone turned a page. Just a guy on a plane. Bullshit. He looked up, raised an eyebrow. Nobody talks like that, Rachel said. Nobody makes threats like that unless they can back them up. Who are you? Stone studied her for a long moment. Then he reached into his jacket. Rachel tensed. He pulled out a photograph. Worn, creased, handed it to her. A young woman, late 20s, dark hair, bright smile, holding a baby girl. Sarah, Stone said. My daughter, and Emma, my granddaughter. Rachel looked at the photo, then at him. Where are they? Sarah's dead, 3 years now. Emma lives with me. I'm sorry. Don't be, it's not your burden. He took the photo back, stared at it. Sarah begged me for years to change, to leave the life, to be there for her and Emma. What life? Stone didn't answer, just tucked the photo away. I wasn't there when she needed me, he said. Some junkie boyfriend with a knife. By the time I found out, he stopped, swallowed hard. I made a promise at her grave. Never again. Never again would I stand by while someone hurt the people I could protect. Rachel's eyes burned. So you protect strangers on planes now. I protect whoever needs it, even if they don't ask, especially then. He met her gaze. You didn't ask, but that little girl next to you, she needs you. And I'll be damned if some drunk piece of garbage is going to traumatize her because I was too polite to get involved. Rachel didn't know what to say, didn't know what to feel. This man, this stranger, had just defended her, threatened another man for her, and now he was sitting there reading his book like it was nothing. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me yet. Why? Because he'll be back. Rachel's blood went cold. What? Men like that don't learn. They get embarrassed, angry. They convince themselves they're the victim, and then they do something stupid to prove they're not scared. So what do? Stone turned another page. We wait. The next hour was torture. Rachel couldn't sleep, couldn't relax. Every footstep in the aisle made her flinch. Every cough, every laugh, every voice. Lily woke up briefly, asked for water. Rachel gave her some and watched her fall back asleep, oblivious to the danger lurking at the back of the plane. Tell me about where you're going. Stone's voice pulled her from her spiral. What? You've been wound tighter than a spring since we took off. Talking might help. I doubt it. Try, Rachel sighed. What the hell? It wasn't like things could get worse. My mother's dying, pancreatic cancer. I haven't seen her in 12 years. Stone waited, didn't push, just listened. She threw me out when I got pregnant with Lily. I was 22. The father was, Rachel laughed bitterly. He was a mistake, a big one. My mother wanted me to end the pregnancy. I refused. She said I was throwing my life away, called me a disgrace, told me to never come back. So you didn't. So I didn't. Rachel stared at her sleeping daughter. I raised Lily alone, worked 3 years, finished nursing school at night, built a life without her. Sounds like you did fine. I survived. That's not the same thing. Stone nodded slowly. No, it's not. She called 4 days ago, or her doctor did, said she wanted to see me, to see Lily before. Rachel's voice cracked. Before it's too late. And you dropped everything. I maxed out my last credit card to buy these tickets. Probably going to lose my job for missing shifts. But yeah, I dropped everything. Why bother? What? After 12 years, after everything she did, why did you come? Rachel opened her mouth, closed it. I don't know, she admitted. Maybe I'm hoping she'll apologize. Maybe I want to yell at her. Maybe I just need to see her face one more time so I can finally let go. Stone was quiet for a long moment. When Sarah died, he said finally, I realized something. Anger is heavy. It takes strength to carry it. But letting it go, that takes courage. Are you saying I should forgive her? I'm saying you should do whatever lets you sleep at night. He turned to look at her. Some burdens are worth carrying. Others just break your back. Before Rachel could respond, Lily stirred. Mommy, I'm hungry. Rachel dug through her bag, found a granola bar, handed it over. Thanks, Mommy. Lily looked at Stone. Hi, Mr. Stone. Did you protect us while I was sleeping? Stone's expression softened. I did my best. Good. I had a dream about you. Oh yeah, you were a big wolf, and there was a bad man trying to get us. But you scared him away with your teeth. Rachel's heart stopped. Stone stared at the little girl. Is that right? Yeah, you were really scary, but only to the bad man. You were nice to us. Lily munched her granola bar. I think you're supposed to be our friend. You do, huh? Yep, that's what the dream said. Stone smiled, a real smile. It transformed his whole face. Then I guess we're friends. Lily grinned. Cool. She went back to her snack completely unaware of what her words had done. Rachel looked at Stone. His eyes were wet. He turned away before she could comment. Get some rest, he said gruffly. Both of you. I'll keep watch. You don't have to. I know, but I'm going to. Rachel wanted to argue, but exhaustion was winning. And something about this man, this strange, terrifying, gentle man, made her believe him. She closed her eyes. Sleep came fast. Rachel woke to screaming. Not Lily. Thank God not Lily. But close. Too close. She jerked upright, saw chaos. Derek was back. And he'd brought a friend. They were both standing in the aisle blocking any escape. Derek's face was twisted with rage. His friend, younger, bigger, meaner, cracked his knuckles like he was getting ready for a fight. Thought you could embarrass me, Derek shouted. Thought you could threaten me. Other passengers were waking up, murmuring. A woman across the aisle pulled out her phone. Stone was on his feet. You had your chance to walk away, he said calmly. You should have taken it. I'm not scared of you, old man. You're nothing. Just some has-been pretending to be tough. Derek, Stone's voice dropped. Last warning. Screw your warning. Derek grabbed Rachel's arm and yanked. Get up, bitch! You're coming with us! Rachel screamed. Lily woke up crying, and Stone moved. It was over in 3 seconds. One moment Derek was pulling Rachel from her seat. The next he was on the floor, his arm twisted behind his back at an angle that made Rachel's stomach turn. His friend had stumbled backwards, clutching his throat, gasping for air. Stone hadn't even broken a sweat. Stay down, he said to Derek, or I break it. My arm. You're breaking my arm. Not yet, but I will. Flight attendants were rushing down the aisle. Passengers were standing phones recording. Someone was shouting for security. Stone looked up at Rachel. Take Lily. Move to the front of the plane. Now. But now Rachel. She grabbed her daughter and ran. Behind her she heard Derek screaming, heard Stone's calm voice saying something to the flight attendants, heard the chaos of a plane full of witnesses trying to understand what they'd just seen. But she didn't look back. She just held her daughter and ran. They put Derek and his friend in zip ties. The captain came over the intercom, announced they'd be met by federal marshals in Boston, thanked the passenger who assisted in restraining the individuals. Rachel sat in an empty first-class seat, Lily playing in her lap, waiting. Stone appeared 20 minutes later. A flight attendant escorted him, thanking him repeatedly. He sat across from Rachel. You okay? She laughed. It came out broken. No, not even close. Lily, scared, but she'll be okay. Rachel hugged her daughter tighter. She's tougher than she looks. Like her mom. Rachel shook her head. I'm not tough. I'm just too stubborn to quit. Same thing. Lily peeked up from Rachel's chest. Mr. Stone, did you beat up the bad men? I stopped them from hurting you and your mom. Like in my dream. Just like in your dream. Lily thought about this. Are you a superhero? Stone smiled. No, little one. I'm just someone who doesn't like bullies. Me neither. Bullies are the worst. They really are. Lily settled back against Rachel's chest, satisfied with this answer. Rachel met Stone's eyes. Who are you? She asked again. Really? He reached into his jacket, pulled out a card, handed it to her. It was simple. White background, black text, just a phone number and 2 words, Hell's Angels. Rachel's heart stopped. She looked up at him. At the worn leather jacket, the hard eyes, the scars on his knuckles she hadn't noticed before. You're retired, mostly. He took the card back. But some things you never really leave behind. Why are you helping us? Because my daughter was just like you, alone, scared, trying to protect her kid. His jaw tightened. No one helped her, and I've spent 3 years making sure I never let that happen again. Rachel didn't know what to say. This man, this Hell's Angel, this legend from a world she'd only seen in movies and news reports. He'd just saved her life. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't know how to." "You don't owe me anything." He stood. "Just take care of that little girl, and when you see your mother, say what you need to say. Don't leave anything behind." He started to walk away. "Stone," he turned. "Will I see you again?" He was quiet for a long moment. "If you need me," he said finally, "you will." Then he was gone. Back to his seat, back to his book. Like nothing had happened. Rachel sat there holding her daughter, trying to process the last few hours. She'd boarded this plane terrified of facing her dying mother. Now she was landing with something she hadn't expected. Hope, and the phone number of a Hell's Angel who had promised to watch over her. The plane began its descent into Boston. Rachel looked out the window at the city below. Somewhere down there, her mother was waiting. And for the first time in 12 years, Rachel was ready to face her, whatever came next. The wheels hit the runway hard. Rachel's stomach lurched. Lily whimpered against her chest, still shaken from what had happened. The plane taxied toward the gate, and through the window, Rachel could see the flashing lights of police vehicles waiting on the tarmac. "Mommy, are the police here for the bad men?" "Yes, baby, they're going to take them away." "Good, I didn't like them." "Me neither." The captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until federal marshals have boarded the aircraft. We apologize for any inconvenience." Rachel held Lily tighter. Her mind was racing. Derek, the attack, Stone's hands moving so fast she'd barely seen them. The card with those two words that changed everything. Hell's Angels. She'd heard the stories. Everyone had. The motorcycle club that operated outside the law. The men who answered to no one. The brotherhood that inspired fear in everyone who crossed them. And one of them had just saved her life. The plane doors opened. Two federal marshals in dark suits boarded, moving with purpose toward the back of the cabin. Rachel watched them pass, watched the other passengers crane their necks to see what was happening. Then she heard Derek's voice. "This is bullshit. I'm the victim here. That old man attacked me." "Sir, you're under arrest for assault and interference with a flight crew. You have the right to remain silent." "I want a lawyer. I want to press charges. That man broke my arm." "Sir, we have a video footage from multiple passengers. I'd suggest you stop talking." Derek kept screaming as they dragged him off the plane. His friend followed as silent and pale, clearly sobering up to the reality of his situation. Rachel let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. "Ma'am?" A flight attendant appeared beside her, young, professional, but her eyes were warm. "The gentleman who helped you asked me to give you this." She handed Rachel a folded piece of paper. "He's already deplaned. Said he had somewhere to be." Rachel unfolded the paper. Stone's handwriting was rough, almost illegible. "You're stronger than you know. Go see your mother. Say what needs to be said. And if you ever need anything, you have my number, S." Rachel's eyes burned. "Mommy, what does it say?" "It says we have a friend looking out for us." "Mr. Stone." "Yeah, baby, Mr. Stone." They deplaned into chaos. Boston Logan Airport was packed. Travelers rushed past, oblivious to the drama that had just unfolded 30,000 feet in the air. Rachel navigated through the crowd, Lily's hand gripped tight in hers, searching for the exit. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Car waiting for you outside, baggage claim. Black sedan. Driver's name is Miguel. He'll take you to the hospital. S." Rachel stopped walking. How did he know where she was going? How did he have her number? When had he even had time to arrange this? "Mommy, why'd we stop?" "Just checking something." She stared at the message. Part of her wanted to refuse, to prove she didn't need help, to handle this on her own like she'd handled everything else for 12 years. But another part of her, the exhausted, terrified, grateful part, just wanted to accept the gift. She typed back, "Thank you." 3 dots appeared. Then, "Don't mention it. Take care of your girl." Rachel pocketed her phone and kept walking. The black sedan was exactly where Stone said it would be. Miguel was a stocky man in his 50s, bald head, kind eyes. He opened the door for them without a word. "Massachusetts General," he asked once they were settled. "Yes, please." No problem. Should take about 20 minutes depending on traffic. Lily pressed her face to the window, watching the city roll by. Rachel sat back trying to steady her breathing. In 20 minutes, she'd see her mother for the first time in 12 years. In 20 minutes, everything would change. You okay back there? Miguel's eyes found hers in the rearview mirror. Not really. No, Stone told me a little bit about your situation. Said you've got a tough day ahead. That's one way to put it. For what it's worth, he doesn't help just anyone. Whatever you did to earn his respect, it must have been something. Rachel almost laughed. I didn't do anything. I was just there. Sometimes that's enough. Miguel turned onto the highway. Sometimes just surviving is enough to earn respect from men like him. Rachel didn't know what to say to that. How do you know Stone? She asked instead. Long story. Let's just say he helped me out of a bad spot about 10 years ago. I owed him. He never collected until today. He called in a favor for me. He called in a favor for you. Rachel's throat tightened. A stranger. A man she'd known for less than 6 hours. And he'd used a decade-old debt to make sure she got to her dying mother safely. I don't understand, she whispered. You don't have to understand. You just have to accept. Miguel smiled in the mirror. That's what I learned. Stone doesn't do things for recognition. He does them because they need to be done. Lily tugged on Rachel's sleeve. Mommy, is Mr. Stone an angel? Rachel thought about it, really thought about it. I don't know, baby. Maybe he is. Massachusetts General Hospital loomed ahead. Rachel's heart hammered against her ribs. 12 years. 12 years of silence, of anger, of pretending her mother didn't exist. And now she was here. This is it, Miguel said, pulling up to the entrance. You need me to wait. I don't know how long I'll be. Doesn't matter. I'll be here. You don't have to. Stone's orders. Miguel smiled. And trust me, you don't argue with Stone's orders. Rachel took Lily's hand and stepped out of the car. The hospital doors slid open. The smell hit her first antiseptic, recycled air, the faint undercurrent of human suffering. She knew this smell, Mabel, lived in it every day at work. But today it felt different, personal. Can I help you? The receptionist looked up as Rachel approached. I'm here to see Eleanor Turner. I'm her daughter. The receptionist typed something into her computer, frowned. Eleanor Turner, room 412, but ma'am, visiting hours ended 30 minutes ago. Please, I just flew in from Phoenix. I haven't seen my mother in... Rachel's voice cracked. Please, Mom. The receptionist studied her face, then Lily's. Let me call up to the floor. One moment. She picked up the phone, murmured something Rachel couldn't hear, nodded, hung up. Go ahead. 4th floor. The nurse on duty will meet you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rachel grabbed Lily's hand and rushed toward the elevators. 4th floor. The hallway stretched endlessly ahead of them. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Somewhere a machine beeped steadily. Mrs. Turner. A nurse approached, young, blonde, tired eyes. I'm Rachel. This is my daughter Lily. I'm Sarah. I've been taking care of your mother. The nurse hesitated. She talks about you every day. She keeps your photo by her bed. Rachel felt like she'd been punched. She does. She's been waiting for you. Sarah's voice softened. I should warn you, she's not the same as you remember. The cancer has progressed rapidly. She has good days and bad days. Today has been difficult. What do you mean? She's confused. Sometimes she thinks it's years ago. Sometimes she doesn't recognize people. Sarah touched Rachel's arm. Just be patient with her and be prepared. Rachel nodded. She couldn't speak. Room 412, down the hall, last door on the left. Rachel walked, one foot in front of the other, Lily silent beside her, sensing the weight of the moment. The door to room 412 was closed. Rachel stood there, hand raised, unable to knock. Mommy, what's wrong? I'm scared, baby. Of what? Of seeing my mommy. Lily considered this. But mommies aren't scary. Sometimes they are, sweetheart. Sometimes they hurt us without meaning to. Did your mommy hurt you? Yes, a long time ago. Lily squeezed her hand. It's okay, Mommy, I'll protect you. Rachel almost broke down right there. She knocked. Come in. The voice was thin, weak but unmistakable. Rachel pushed open the door. The woman in the bed wasn't her mother, or rather she was. But she wasn't. The Eleanor Turner Rachel remembered had been formidable, tall, proud, a woman who commanded every room she entered. This woman was small, shrunken, her skin paper-thin, her hair wispy and white. Tubes ran from her arms to machines that beeped and hummed, but her eyes, those sharp, intelligent eyes, were exactly the same. "Rachel," her mother's voice cracked. "Hi, Mom." Eleanor stared at her, then at Lily, her face crumpled. "You came. You actually came." "I came. And this is Lily, your granddaughter." Eleanor's hand trembled as she reached toward them. "Come here. Please, come closer." Rachel approached the bed slowly. Lily hung back uncertain. "It's okay, baby. This is your grandma." Lily stepped forward, studied the frail woman in the bed. "Hi," she said finally. "I'm Lily. I'm 8. Eleanor laughed. It turned into a cough, wet and horrible. 8 years old? 8 years I missed." "Mom, no, don't." Eleanor's eyes were fierce despite her weakness. "Let me say this. I've been waiting 12 years to say this." Rachel braced herself. "I was wrong." 3 words. 3 words Rachel had needed to hear for over a decade. "I was wrong," Eleanor repeated. "I was scared and proud and stupid. I thought I was protecting you. I thought if you kept the baby, you'd ruin your life. I thought—" She coughed again. "I thought I knew better, but I didn't. I destroyed the only thing that mattered because I couldn't let go of my own fear." Rachel's tears fell freely now. "Why didn't you call? Why didn't you reach out?" "Pride, stupid, useless pride. Every day I picked up the phone. Every day I put it back down. I told myself you didn't want to hear from me, that you'd moved on, that you were better off without me. I wasn't better off. I needed you." "I know." Eleanor's voice broke. "I know, baby, and I am so, so sorry." Rachel didn't think, didn't plan. She just moved. She crossed the room and took her mother's hand. The skin was cold, fragile, like holding a bird. "I named her Lily because it was your favorite flower." Eleanor's eyes widened. "You did." "I wanted her to have something of you, even if you weren't there." Eleanor sobbed, a raw, broken sound that Rachel had never heard from her mother in her entire life. "I don't deserve you. I don't deserve either of you." "Maybe not, but you're still my mom." Lily climbed onto the bed, careful, gentle. She snuggled against Eleanor's side like she'd known her forever. "Don't cry, Grandma. Mommy says crying is okay, but too much makes your face puffy." Eleanor laughed through her tears. "Your mommy is very smart." "I know. She's the smartest person in the whole world." Rachel watched her daughter comfort the grandmother she'd never met. Something in her chest unlocked. Something she'd been carrying for 12 years. Not forgiveness, not yet, but the beginning of it. "I don't have much time," Eleanor said quietly. "The doctors say weeks, maybe days." "I know. I need to tell you things. Things I should have said years ago. We have time." "No, we don't. That's what I've learned." Eleanor's grip tightened on Rachel's hand. "We never have as much time as we think. Don't waste it like I did." A knock at the door interrupted them. Sarah, the nurse, peeked in. "I'm sorry to interrupt. Mrs. Turner, you have another visitor." "Another visitor who?" Sarah hesitated. "He says he's an old friend. He's quite insistent." Rachel's stomach dropped. Something felt wrong. "What's his name?" "He said to tell you James sent him." Eleanor's face went white. "Mom, who's James?" Eleanor's hand trembled violently. "He found me. After all these years, he found me." "Who found you, Mom? What's going on?" "You need to leave. Both of you. Now." "I'm not leaving. I just got here." "Rachel, listen to me." Eleanor's eyes were wild with fear. "James is your father." The world stopped. Rachel couldn't breathe. "What? Your father, the man I told you died before you were born. I lied. He didn't die. I ran. I took you and I ran because he was—" Eleanor's voice dropped to a whisper. "He was a monster. I don't understand. There's no time to explain. You need to take Lily and go. Out the back. There's a service elevator at the end of the hall. Go now." "I'm not leaving you." "Rachel." I said no. The door opened. A man walked in. 60s, silver hair, expensive suit, a face that might have been handsome once before cruelty carved permanent lines into it. He smiled. Hello, Eleanor. It's been a long time. Eleanor shrank back in her bed. Get out. That's no way to greet your husband. His eyes slid to Rachel. And this must be my daughter, all grown up. Rachel stepped between him and Lily. Get away from us. Feisty, just like your mother was. He moved closer. I've been looking for you both for 34 years. Do you know how much money I've spent? How many investigators? And here you are right where I can find you. I said get away. Or what? He laughed. You'll call the police. I own the police. You'll scream for help. No one's coming. I made sure the nurses are occupied. Eleanor was crying now. Please, please just leave them alone. I'm the one you want. True, but now I want them too. His smile widened. A daughter I never knew. A granddaughter I've never met. We have so much catching up to do. Rachel's mind raced. No weapon, no escape. Lily clutching her leg, terrified. She thought of Stone. Wished he were here. Wished she'd kept his card instead of memorizing the number. Then she remembered. Her phone. In her pocket. The text thread still open. She slipped her hand down slowly. Typed blindly. Hit send. What are you doing? James moved toward her. Give me that phone. They back. I said give it to me. He grabbed her wrist. Twisted. The phone clattered to the floor. Rachel cried out. Lily screamed. And somewhere across the city, a phone buzzed in a leather jacket pocket. Stone looked down at the message. 3 words. Hospital. Help. Now. He was out the door before his coffee hit the ground. James had Rachel by the throat. You're going to learn respect, he hissed. Just like your mother did. Just like everyone does. Let her go, Lily beat at his legs with her tiny fists. Let my mommy go. Shut up, you little brat. He backhanded Lily across the face. She crumpled. Something inside Rachel snapped. She drove her knee into James's groin with every ounce of strength she had. He doubled over, releasing her throat. She grabbed the IV stand beside her mother's bed and swung. Metal connected with skull. James went down. Rachel didn't stop. Couldn't stop. 12 years of rage and fear and pain poured out of her. She hit him again and again. Rachel! Rachel, stop! Her mother's voice cut through the red haze. Rachel stood there panting, the IV stand clutched in her hands like a weapon. James lay motionless on the floor, blood pooling beneath his head. I don't know. I don't care. Rachel dropped the stand and scooped up Lily. Baby, are you okay? Talk to me. Lily's cheek was red and swelling, but her eyes were open, alert. That man was mean. I know, baby, I know. You hit him really hard. I had to. Good. Lily's voice was fierce. He hurt me. He hurt you. He deserved it. Rachel held her daughter tight and sobbed. The door burst open. Stone stood there, breathing hard. Behind him, 2 other men in leather jackets. He took in the scene in an instant. Rachel crying, clutching Lily. James unconscious and bleeding on the floor. Eleanor weak and terrified in her bed. You okay? Rachel nodded, couldn't speak. Stone knelt beside Omars, checked his pulse. He's alive, unfortunately. He said he's my father. He said, I know everything. Stone stood. Miguel called me, told me where you were. I was already on my way when I got your text. How did you know? I didn't. I just had a feeling. He gestured to the men behind him. These are brothers. They're going to stay with your mother. No one gets in or out without their say-so. Stone, what's happening? Who is this man? Stone looked at her, really looked at her, and in his eyes she saw something she hadn't seen before. Anger. Cold, calculated, lethal anger. His name is James Whitmore. He is one of the most dangerous men on the East Coast. Organized crime, human trafficking, things I won't say in front of your daughter. Rachel felt sick. And he's my father. By blood, nothing else. Stone's jaw tightened. Your mother ran from him 34 years ago, testified against him, got him sent to prison. He spent 20 years planning his revenge. But he's out now. He's been out for 14 years, rebuilding, waiting. Stone looked at Eleanor. She changed her name, disappeared. But cancer has a way of creating paper trails, hospital records, insurance claims. Eleanor was weeping silently. I tried to protect you. I tried so hard. Rachel didn't know what to feel, anger, betrayal, understanding. We need to go, Stone said, now, before his people figure out something's wrong. I'm not leaving my mother. Your mother is dying, and I mean this with respect, but she's got days at best. You've got a daughter who needs you to be alive. I can't just, you can, you have to. Stone's voice softened. I'm not asking you to abandon her. I'm asking you to let me protect her. My brothers will stay. I promise you no one will hurt her. Rachel looked at her mother, at the frail woman who had lied to her, abandoned her, broken her heart, at the woman who had also saved her life, who had run 34 years ago to protect a daughter she loved more than her own pride. Mom. Eleanor looked up. I forgive you. The words hung in the air. I don't understand everything yet. I'm angry and confused and scared. But I forgive you for all of it. Eleanor's face crumpled. I don't deserve. No, you don't, but I'm giving it to you anyway, because I don't want to carry this weight anymore. Rachel squeezed her mother's hand. I'll come back, I promise, but right now I have to keep Lily safe. Go, please, keep her safe. That's all that matters. Rachel kissed her mother's forehead. I love you, Mom. I love you too, baby. I always did, even when I couldn't show it. Stone touched Rachel's shoulder. We need to move. Rachel nodded, picked up Lily, turned toward the door. Wait, Eleanor's voice stopped her. There's something you need to know, something I should have told you years ago. What? Eleanor's eyes found Stone's. Something passed between them. An understanding. You have a brother. Rachel's blood went cold. What? A half-brother. James's son from another woman. His name is Derek. The world tilted. Derek. The man on the plane, the man who had harassed her, attacked her, tried to hurt Lily. Her brother. He found you first, Eleanor whispered. He was supposed to bring you to James, but he failed. Rachel turned to Stone. Did you know? Stone's face was unreadable. I suspected. I didn't know for sure until just now. But you on the plane, I knew something was wrong. The way he targeted you specifically, like he was looking for someone. Stone's jaw tightened. Now it makes sense. Lily tugged on Rachel's shirt. Mommy, what's happening? Rachel couldn't answer, couldn't process. Her father was a monster. Her brother had tried to hurt her. Her mother had lied for 34 years. Everything she thought she knew was a lie. We need to go, Stone said again, and right now. This time Rachel didn't argue. She held Lily tight and followed Stone out of the room. Behind her, she heard her mother crying. Ahead of her, she saw nothing but darkness. And somewhere in the city, Derek Lawson, her brother, was being released on bail, already making phone calls, already planning his next move. The hunt wasn't over. It had just begun. Stone's motorcycle cut through the Boston night like a blade. Rachel clung to his back, Lily sandwiched between them. Her small arms wrapped tight around Rachel's waist. The wind tore at their clothes, whipped Rachel's hair into her face, but she didn't care. All she could think about was getting away, getting Lily somewhere safe. Where are we going? She shouted over the roar of the engine. Somewhere they won't find you. That's not an answer. It's the only one I've got right now. They rode for what felt like hours, through city streets, onto highways, down back roads Rachel had never seen. Finally, Stone pulled out into what looked like an abandoned warehouse district. Rachel's heart sank. This is your safe house. Trust me. He killed the engine. The silence was deafening. Stay close, don't speak unless I tell you to. Rachel nodded, lifted Lily off the bike. The little girl was trembling but silent. She'd barely said a word since they left the hospital. Stone led them to a rusted metal door. Knocked 3 times, paused, knocked twice more. The door swung open. A man stood there, massive, bearded, arms covered in tattoos. He looked at Stone, then at Rachel, then at Lily. This is them. Bring them in. Church is waiting. Church. Rachel didn't know what that meant, but she followed Stone through the door and into another world. The space inside was nothing like the exterior suggested. Clean, organized. A long wooden table dominated the center, surrounded by chairs. And in those chairs sat a dozen men who looked like they'd walked out of Rachel's worst nightmares. Leather jackets, tattoos, scars, eyes that had seen things no human should see. Hell's Angels. All of them. Brothers, Stone's voice carried across the room. This is Rachel and her daughter Lily. They're under my protection. No one spoke. No one moved. Then a man at the head of the table stood. Older than the others, white beard, eyes like chips of ice. You brought a woman and child into our clubhouse, Stone. That's not something we do lightly. I know, priest, but this isn't a light situation. Explain. Stone pulled out a chair for Rachel. She sat pulling Lily onto her lap. The little girl buried her face in Rachel's chest. James Whitmore, Stone said. The name rippled through the room like a shockwave. Men shifted, jaws tightened. Someone muttered a curse. Whitmore's been out for 14 years, priest said. We had an agreement. He stays on his side, we stay on ours. He broke it. Tonight, he went after this woman and her daughter. Why? Stone looked at Rachel. Tell them. Rachel's mouth was dry. He's my father. The silence that followed was suffocating. Your father, priest repeated. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. My mother told me he died before I was born. She lied. She was running from him. Eleanor Turner, Stone added. She testified against Whitmore 34 years ago. Put him away for 20 years. Changed her name. Disappeared. But she got cancer. Hospital records led him right to her. Priest stroked his beard. And the girl, my daughter, Lily, she's 8. Whitmore's granddaughter. By blood, nothing else. Priest studied Rachel for a long moment. Then Lily. His expression was unreadable. There's more, Stone said. The man on the plane, Derek Lawson, the one who attacked them. What about him? He's Whitmore's son, Rachel's half-brother. Another ripple through the room, louder this time. He was sent to find her, Stone continued, to bring her to Whitmore. When he failed, Whitmore came himself. Where is Whitmore now? Hospital. Rachel put him down with an IV stand. For the first time, something like respect flickered in Priest's eyes. You did that? You put down James Whitmore. Rachel's voice shook. He was hurting my daughter. I didn't think. I just acted. Mama Bear. One of the men at the table grinned. I like her. Shut up, Bones. Priest turned back to Stone. What do you want from us? Protection. For her and the girl. Until we can figure out how to handle Whitmore permanently. That's a big ask. I know. Whitmore has an army, politicians, cops, judges. You're asking us to go to war. I'm asking you to protect an innocent woman and her child from a monster who wants to own them. Priest was quiet. The room held its breath. Why do you care, Stone? You've been out of the game for 3 years, retired, living quiet. Why risk everything for a stranger? Stone's jaw tightened. Because she reminds me of Sarah. The name hit the room like a bomb. My daughter was alone when she needed me. Stone continued. I wasn't there. I couldn't protect her. But I can protect Rachel. I can make sure no one hurts her or her kid the way Sarah was hurt. Priest nodded slowly. Sarah was one of us. Family. We failed her too. Then don't fail this one. The silence stretched. Rachel could hear her own heartbeat, could feel Lily trembling in her arms. Finally, Priest spoke. All in favor of granting protection to Rachel and her daughter. Hands went up, one by one, every man at the table. It's unanimous. Priest looked at Rachel. You're under our protection now. Anyone who touches you or your girl answers to the Hell's Angels. Rachel's eyes burned. Thank you. I don't know how to. Don't thank us yet. This is going to get ugly before it gets better. Priest stood. Bones, show them to the back room. Get them food, water, whatever they need. Stone, you stay. We need to talk strategy. Bones, the grinning man from earlier, approached Rachel. Up close, he was even more intimidating. 6'5", muscles on muscles, a scar running from his eyebrow to his jaw. But his voice was gentle. Come on, little mama. Let's get you and the munchkin settled. Rachel stood, Lily still in her arms. She looked at Stone. Will you be okay? I'll be fine. Go rest. You've been through hell tonight. She wanted to say more, wanted to thank him properly, but the words wouldn't come. So she just nodded and followed Bones into the darkness. The back room was small but clean. 2 cots, a sink, a mini fridge stocked with water and snacks. Bones pointed out the bathroom, promised to bring them hot food soon, and left them alone. Rachel sat on one of the cots. Lily finally lifted her head. "Mommy?" "Yeah, baby. Are we safe now?" Rachel looked at the door, thought about the men on the other side, thought about James Whitmore lying in a hospital bed with his skull cracked open. "I think so, sweetheart. I think we're safe. Those men are scary. I know, but they're on our side. Like Mr. Stone, like Mr. Stone." Lily was quiet for a moment, then, "Mommy, that man at the hospital. The mean one, he said he was your daddy." Rachel's chest tightened. "I know. But you said your daddy was dead." "That's what I thought. That's what Grandma told me." "Grandma lied. She was trying to protect me, like I protect you." Lily processed this. "Is the mean man gonna come back?" "I don't know, baby. I don't want him to. He hurt me." Rachel pulled Lily close, kissed the top of her head. The bruise on her daughter's cheek was already darkening. "I won't let him hurt you again. I promise. You hit him really hard." "I did." "Good." Lily's voice was fierce. "He deserved it." A knock at the door made them both jump. "It's Bones. Got some food." Rachel opened the door. Bones stood there with 2 plates, sandwiches, chips, fruit. "Nothing fancy, but it'll fill your bellies." "Thank you." He handed over the plates, then hesitated. "Can I tell you something?" "Sure." "Stone doesn't bring people here. Ever. In 20 years, you're the first. I don't understand why he's helping us." "Because of Sarah." Bones's eyes were sad. "She was like a daughter to all of us. When she died, Stone blamed himself. Blamed all of us. He walked away. Said he couldn't be part of a world where innocent people got hurt. But he's back now. For you, for your kid." Bones shook his head. "Whatever you did to earn his loyalty, don't waste it. Men like Stone don't give second chances." He left before Rachel could respond. She sat back down, handed Lily a sandwich, tried to make sense of everything. 24 hours ago, she'd been a single mom in Phoenix working double shifts, barely surviving. Now she was in a Hells Angels clubhouse, hiding from a father she'd never known, protected by men who terrified her. Life had a sick sense of humor. Lily fell asleep after eating. Rachel couldn't. Her mind wouldn't stop racing. She thought about her mother alone in that hospital room with 2 strangers guarding her door. Thought about Derek, her half-brother, probably already out of custody and planning his next move. Thought about James Whitmore, her father, and the 20 years he'd spent in prison dreaming of revenge. She thought about Stone, the way he'd appeared out of nowhere like an answer to a prayer she hadn't known she was praying. Who was he really? What had he done in his life to become the man he was now? And why? Why had he chosen to help her? A soft knock pulled her from her thoughts. "Rachel, it's Stone. Can I come in?" She opened the door. He looked tired, older than he had on the plane, but his eyes were still sharp, still watchful. "How's Lily? Sleeping?" "Finally." "And you?" "I'm—" Rachel laughed bitterly. "I don't even know what I am." "Mind if I sit?" She gestured to the empty cot. He sat moving carefully like a man who'd learned to never make sudden movements. "We have a plan," he said. "Priest and the brothers. We're going to handle Whitmore." "Handle him how?" "You don't want to know the details." "Yes, I do. He's my father. I have a right to know." Stone studied her. "Fair enough. We're going to find him. Have a conversation. Make it very clear that if he comes near you or Lily again, it'll be the last thing he ever does. You're going to threaten him. We're going to make him understand the new reality. And if he doesn't listen..." Stone didn't answer. His silence said everything. "What about Derek? My brother?" "Same thing. He's been warned once. There won't be a second warning." Rachel wrapped her arms around herself. "This is insane. 24 hours ago, I was worrying about rent. Now I'm hiding from my own family while a motorcycle gang plans to club." "What?" "We're a club, not a gang. There's a difference." "Does it matter?" "To us, it does." Stone's voice softened. "I know this is overwhelming. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but you're not alone anymore. Whatever happens, you've got people in your corner. Why do you care so much? You don't even know me. Stone was quiet for a long moment. 3 years ago, he said finally, I got a phone call. Sarah, my daughter, she was crying, said her boyfriend had hit her, said she was scared, said she needed help. Rachel's heart clenched. I told her to leave, told her I'd be there in the morning. I was 2 states away on club business. I thought she could wait one night. Stone, she couldn't wait. He killed her that night, beat her to death while my granddaughter hid in a closet. Rachel couldn't breathe. I found Emma the next morning. She'd been in that closet for 12 hours, 3 years old, covered in her mother's blood. Tears streamed down Rachel's face. I buried my daughter, raised my granddaughter, and I swore on Sarah's grave that I would never again stand by while someone hurt an innocent woman or child. So when you saw me on that plane, I saw Sarah, I saw Emma, I saw every woman who ever needed help and didn't get it. Stone's eyes met hers. I couldn't save my daughter, but I can save you. Rachel didn't think. She just moved. She crossed the small space between them and wrapped her arms around him, held him tight, felt his body stiffen, then slowly relax. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for saving us. His arms came up, held her back. Don't thank me yet. We still have a long way to go. They stayed like that for a moment, 2 broken people holding each other in the darkness. Then Stone pulled back. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be hard. What happens tomorrow? We find out how far Whitmore's willing to go, and we make our move. He stood, walked to the door, paused. Rachel. Yeah, that bruise on Lily's face, the one Whitmore gave her. What about it? Stone's voice was ice. He's going to pay for that. I promise you. Then he was gone. Rachel lay down next to her sleeping daughter, wrapped her arms around Lily's small body, breathed in the scent of her hair. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring. Didn't know if they'd survive this. Didn't know if she'd ever see her mother again. But for the first time in 12 years, she didn't feel alone. And that was something. The next morning came too fast. Rachel woke to the sound of raised voices outside the door. Men arguing, something about a phone call, something about Whitmore. She was on her feet instantly. Lily, baby, wake up. Mommy, what's wrong? I don't know. Stay here. Rachel opened the door and stepped into the main room. The atmosphere had changed. The men who'd been calm last night were now tense, agitated. Priest was at the head of the table, phone pressed to his ear, face like thunder. Stone saw her and crossed the room quickly. What's happening? Rachel asked. Whitmore's awake, and he's talking. Talking to who? Everyone, police, media. He's claiming you attacked him unprovoked, that you're mentally unstable, that you kidnapped your daughter from protective custody. Rachel's blood ran cold. That's insane. He attacked us. I know, but he's got money, power, and connections. He's spinning the story his way. There are witnesses, the nurses, the flight crew from the plane. The flight crew is backing your story, but the hospital staff, Stone shook his head. Half of them are already changing their statements. Whitmore got to them. This can't be happening. It gets worse. Stone's jaw tightened. Derek made bail last night. He's out. And according to our sources, he's headed this way. He knows where we are. No, but Boston's not that big, and he's got his father's resources. Rachel felt the walls closing in. What do? We move, get you somewhere farther away, somewhere even Whitmore can't reach. Where, before Stone could answer, Priest slammed down his phone. Change of plans, his voice cut through the room. We just got word. Whitmore's not just spinning stories, he's filed for emergency custody of Lily. Rachel's heart stopped. What? He's claiming you're an unfit mother, that you attacked him in front of your child, that the child is in danger. That's a lie. He's the one who... I know. Priest held up a hand, but he's got lawyers, expensive ones, and a judge who owes him favors. When's the hearing? Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Rachel couldn't breathe, couldn't think. He's going to take my daughter. Not if we can help it. Stone stepped forward. Priest, we need to get her a lawyer, a good one. Already on it. I've got a call into Martinez. He owes us. Martinez is good, but is he good enough to go against Whitmore's team? He'll have to be. Rachel grabbed Stone's arm. I can't lose her. I can't. She's all I have. You won't lose her. His voice was steel. I won't let that happen. How can you promise that Whitmore has everything? Money, power, the law on his side. We have something better. What? Stone looked at the men around the table, at Priest, at Bones, at the brothers who had voted unanimously to protect her. Family. The word hung in the air. Whitmore's got lawyers and judges, Stone continued. We've got something he'll never have. Loyalty, brotherhood, people who would die for each other without hesitation. And what good does that do in a courtroom? Maybe nothing, but courtrooms aren't the only place where battles are won. Stone's eyes were hard. Whitmore wants to play games fine, but he's forgotten one thing. What's that? We wrote the rules. Lily appeared in the doorway, rubbing her eyes, still half asleep. Mommy, what's happening? Why is everyone yelling? Rachel scooped her up, held her tight. Nothing, baby, just grown-up stuff. I'm hungry. I know, we'll get you breakfast soon. Lily looked around the room, at the men in leather, at the tension in the air. Is the mean man coming back? Rachel didn't know how to answer that. Stone knelt down until he was eye level with Lily. Hey, little one, remember what I told you on the plane? Lily nodded. You said you'd protect us. That's right, and I meant it. No one is going to hurt you or your mommy, I promise. Pinky promise. Stone held out his pinky, huge and scarred against Lily's tiny finger. They linked. Pinky promise, Stone said. Lily smiled. The first real smile Rachel had seen since they'd left Phoenix. Okay, I believe you, Mr. Stone. Good, now let's get you some breakfast. He stood, took Lily's hand and led her toward the kitchen area. Rachel watched them go. This hardened biker, this former criminal, holding her daughter's hand like she was made of glass. She'd boarded a plane terrified of facing her dying mother. Now she was fighting for her daughter's life against a father she'd never known. And her only allies were a group of men society had taught her to fear. Life was strange that way. Priest approached her. His eyes were softer than before. We'll get you through this, he said. Whatever it takes. Why, you don't know me. You don't owe me anything. We owe Stone, and Stone has decided you're worth protecting. Priest paused. He doesn't make that decision lightly. I know. Bones told me about Sarah. Priest nodded slowly. She was the best of us. Bright, kind, full of hope. When she died, Stone changed. We all changed, but Stone most of all. He carries that guilt every day. Thinks if he'd just gotten there, sooner she'd still be alive. Would she? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't matter now. What matters is that he's got a chance to do what he couldn't do for Sarah. Protect someone who needs it. Rachel looked toward the kitchen. Stone was helping Lily pour cereal into a bowl. She was laughing at something he'd said. He's good with her. He's good with all kids, especially since Emma came to live with him. Emma, his granddaughter. She's 11 now, tough as nails. Reminds me of Sarah. Rachel felt a pang of something she couldn't name. Where is she? Unsafe. Safe, with Stone's sister in California. He sent her there the moment he realized what was happening with a Whitmore. He was already thinking ahead. Stone always thinks ahead. It's why he's still alive. The morning passed in a blur of phone calls and strategy sessions. Martinez, the lawyer, arrived around noon. Tall, Hispanic, sharp eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He didn't look like someone who worked with bikers, but the way the men greeted him said otherwise. Rachel, he shook her hand firmly. I've reviewed the situation. It's not good. Tell me. Whitmore's claiming you assaulted him without provocation, that you've been exhibiting erratic behavior, that Lily is in immediate danger. None of that is true. I know, but he's got witnesses who say otherwise. He bought them. Probably, but proving that in court is another matter. Martinez opened his briefcase. The good news is we have the flight incident. Multiple passengers corroborated your account of Derek's harassment. The federal charges against him help our case. And the bad news, the assault at the hospital, there's no video, no independent witnesses. It's your word against his. I was defending myself, defending my daughter. I believe you, but Whitmore's lawyers will paint a different picture. Single mother, exhausted, stressed, estranged from her family for 12 years. They'll say you snapped. Rachel felt sick. So what do? We tell your story, all of it, the harassment on the plane, the revelation about your father, the attack at the hospital. Martinez leaned forward. We need to establish a pattern. Show the judge that Whitmore is the aggressor, not you. Will it work? Honestly, I don't know. Whitmore has powerful friends, but we've got something he doesn't. What? The truth? Martinez smiled grimly. And a bunch of very motivated bikers who are excellent at finding information people don't want found. Stone appeared at Rachel's side. What do you need from us? Everything you can dig up on Whitmore, his business dealings, his associates, anything that shows he's not the upstanding citizen he claims to be. We can do that. Good. We've got less than 24 hours. Stone nodded, turned to Priest. Call everyone. Full resources. I want to know what Whitmore had for breakfast this morning. Done. The clubhouse erupted into activity. Men made phone calls, typed on laptops, disappeared outdoors on mysterious errands. Rachel watched it all, feeling helpless. Lily tugged on her sleeve. Mommy, what's happening? We're getting ready for something important tomorrow. Is it about the mean man? Yes, baby. Is he trying to take me away? Rachel's heart shattered. She knelt down, took her daughter's face in her hands. Listen to me. No one is taking you anywhere. You are my daughter, mine, and I will fight with everything I have to keep you safe. Promise, I promise. A pinky promise. Rachel linked her pinky with Lily's. Pinky promise. Lily hugged her tight. I love you, Mommy. I love you too, baby, more than anything in the world. Over her daughter's shoulder, Rachel saw Stone watching. His face was stone, but his eyes were wet. And in that moment, Rachel understood something important. This wasn't just about protecting a stranger anymore. This was personal, for all of them. Night fell. Rachel couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't do anything but pace the small room, checking on Lily every few minutes. Around midnight, Stone knocked on her door. We found something. Rachel followed him to the main room. The table was covered with papers, photographs, laptop screens. What is it? Martinez was there, looking energized despite the late hour. We found a former employee of Whitmore's, a woman named Grace Chen. She worked as his personal assistant for 3 years. And she's willing to testify about everything. Rachel felt hope flicker in her chest. What does she know? Everything. The money laundering, the bribery, the intimidation of witnesses. Martinez paused. And more, things that could put Whitmore away for the rest of his life. Why would she testify he'll destroy her? He already tried. Stone's voice was grim. 5 years ago, she barely survived. She's been in hiding ever since. So why come forward now? Because she heard about you, what he did, what he's trying to do to your daughter. Stone met Rachel's eyes. She said she couldn't stay silent anymore. Not when a child was involved. Rachel felt tears building. Where is she? On her way here. She'll be at the courthouse tomorrow morning. Will her testimony be enough? Martinez nodded slowly. Combined with everything else, it should be. We're not just defending you anymore, Rachel. We're taking Whitmore down. For the first time since this nightmare began, Rachel felt something like hope. What happens now? Now, Stone glanced at the clock. Now you try to get some sleep. Tomorrow is going to be the hardest day of your life. I can't sleep. Try anyway. You need to be sharp. He hesitated. For Lily. Rachel nodded. He was right. She had to be strong, had to be ready, for her daughter, for everything. She walked back to the room, lay down next to Lily, listened to her daughter breathe. Tomorrow everything would be decided. Tomorrow she would either keep her daughter or lose her forever. Tomorrow she would face the monster who had haunted her family for 34 years. And whatever happened, Rachel Turner was done running. This time she was going to fight. The courthouse steps felt like climbing a mountain. Rachel gripped Lily's hand so tight her knuckles went white. Martinez walked beside her, briefcase in hand, face set with determination. Behind them, Stone and 4 other Hell's Angels formed a wall of leather and muscle. People stared, whispered, pointed. Rachel didn't care. Mommy, I'm scared. I know, baby. Me too. What if the judge takes me away? Rachel stopped, knelt down right there on the courthouse steps, commuters flowing around them like water around rocks. Listen to me, Lily. Whatever happens in there, you are my daughter. Mine. No judge, no courtroom, no piece of paper can change that. Do you understand? Lily nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. I need you to be brave. Can you do that for me? I'll try my. That's my girl. Stone's voice cut through. Rachel, we need to move. She stood, wiped Lily's tears, and continued up the steps. Inside the courthouse was chaos. Reporters had caught wind of the story: estranged daughter, dying mother billionaire, father seeking custody. The perfect scandal. Martinez pushed through the crowd. No comment, no comment. Let us through. They made it to the courtroom doors. Martinez turned to Rachel. Remember what we discussed. Stay calm. Don't let Whitmore's lawyers provoke you. And whatever happens, don't lose your temper. Understood. Stone, you and your men need to stay outside. The judge won't appreciate. I know. Stone's jaw was tight. We'll be right here. He looked at Rachel. Something passed between them. You've got this, he said quietly. Show them who you are. Rachel nodded, took a breath, pushed open the doors. The courtroom was packed, every seat filled, standing room only. Rachel scanned the faces: reporters, curiosity seekers, people who had nothing better to do than watch someone's life fall apart. And there at the opposite table sat James Whitmore. He looked different than he had at the hospital. Cleaned up, expensive suit, a bandage on his head that somehow made him look more sympathetic, like he was the victim. Beside him sat a team of lawyers, 5 of them, all in matching dark suits, all with faces like sharks smelling blood. Whitmore's eyes found Rachel's. He smiled. Rachel's blood ran cold. Don't let him get to you, Martinez murmured. That's exactly what he wants. They took their seats. Lily sat between Rachel and Martinez, small and terrified. All rise, the Honorable Judge Patricia Morrison presiding. Everyone stood. The judge entered, a woman in her 60s, silver hair, sharp eyes behind reading glasses. She sat and everyone else followed. Be seated. This is the emergency custody hearing in the matter of Whitmore versus Turner. I've reviewed the filings. She looked up. Mr. Whitmore, you're seeking emergency custody of your granddaughter, Lily Turner, age 8. Is that correct? Whitmore's lead lawyer stood. That is correct, Your Honor. My client believes the child is in immediate danger with her mother. And Miss Alha, Turner, you're contesting this claim. Martinez rose. Vigorously, Your Honor, Ms. Turner is an exemplary mother with no history of abuse or neglect. Mr. Whitmore's claims are baseless and motivated by personal vendetta. Judge Morrison's eyebrows rose. Strong words, counselor. I assume you have evidence to support them. Extensive evidence, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Whitmore, since you've brought this action, you may proceed first. The lead lawyer, his nameplate read, Harrison stood and buttoned his jacket. Your Honor, my client is a successful businessman, a pillar of the community, and a grandfather who simply wants to protect his grandchild from danger. Rachel bit her tongue. 3 nights ago, Mr. Whitmore traveled to Massachusetts General Hospital to see his estranged daughter and meet his granddaughter for the first time. What should have been a joyous reunion turned violent when Mrs. Turner attacked him without provocation, striking him repeatedly with a metal object. Murmurs rippled through the courtroom. My client suffered a fractured skull, a concussion, and required emergency surgery. He nearly died. Harrison paused for effect. This unprovoked attack occurred in front of the minor child. We have submitted medical records and hospital reports documenting Mr. Whitmore's injuries. Judge Morrison examined the documents. These are extensive injuries, Mr. Harrison. Yes, Your Honor, and they speak to Ms. Turner's violent and unstable nature. A woman capable of this kind of attack should not be entrusted with the care of a child. Rachel wanted to scream, to stand up and tell everyone what really happened. But Martinez's hand on her arm kept her seated. Furthermore, Harrison continued, we have evidence that Ms. Turner has been associating with known criminals, members of an outlaw motorcycle gang who have extensive criminal records. He produced photographs, Stone, Bones, Priest, all of them. These men are currently under investigation by federal authorities. Ms. Turner has been staying at their compound with her daughter. What kind of mother exposes her child to such dangerous individuals? Judge Morrison studied the photographs. Her expression was unreadable. Is there anything else, Mr. Harrison? Yes, Your Honor, we would like to call our first witness, Derek Lawson. Rachel's stomach dropped. The courtroom doors opened and Derek walked in. He looked nothing like he had on the plane. No rumpled suit, no glassy eyes. He was clean-shaven, well-dressed, the pictures of respectability. He took the witness stand and was sworn in. Harrison approached. Mr. Lawson, what is your relationship to the parties in this case? I'm James Whitmore's son and Rachel Turner's half-brother, though I only recently discovered that. Can you describe what happened on the flight from Phoenix to Boston 3 days ago? Derek nodded solemnly. I was on that flight. I recognized Rachel from photos my father had shown me. I tried to introduce myself to tell her that her father was looking for her. Rachel couldn't believe what she was hearing. And how did she respond? She was hostile, aggressive. She accused me of harassing her, which wasn't true. I was just trying to talk to her. And what happened next? An older man sitting next to her threatened me, physically assaulted me. I was detained by federal marshals when we landed based entirely on false accusations. Have charges been filed against you? No, the charges were dropped this morning due to lack of evidence. Martinez shot to his feet. Objection, Your Honor. The charges were dropped because witnesses were intimidated, not because of lack of evidence. Do you have proof of witness intimidation, counselor? Martinez hesitated. Not at this time, Your Honor. Then your objection is overruled. Continue, Mr. Harrison. Derek smiled, just slightly, just enough for Rachel to see. Mr. Lawson, in your opinion, is Rachel Turner a fit mother? Objection, the witness is not qualified to. I'll allow it, Judge Morrison said. This is an emergency hearing, not a trial. I want to hear all perspectives. Derek turned to face the judge. Your Honor, I don't know Rachel well, but what I saw on that plane concerned me. She was erratic, paranoid. She accused me of things I didn't do. And the company she keeps those bikers, that's not a safe environment for any child. Thank you, Mr. Lawson. No further questions. Martinez stood. Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine as the witness. Proceed. Martinez approached Derek slowly. Mr. Lawson, you said the charges against you were dropped this morning. Is that correct? Yes. And who paid for your legal representation? Derek hesitated. My father. And the same father who is seeking custody of the child in this case? Yes. And do you stand to benefit in any way if your father gains custody of Lily? Harrison jumped up. Objection. Speculation. I'll rephrase. Mr. Lawson, what is your relationship with your father? He's my father. We're close. Close enough that you would lie for him. Objection. Withdrawn. Martinez smiled. Mr. Lawson, you testified that you were simply trying to introduce yourself to Ms. Turner on the plane. Is that correct? Yes. You didn't make any inappropriate comments about her appearance? No. You didn't touch her hair without permission? Absolutely not. You didn't make derogatory remarks about single mothers? Never. Martinez returned to his table, picked up a tablet. Your Honor, I'd like to submit video evidence from multiple passengers on that flight. The courtroom buzzed. Objection. Harrison was on his feet. We've had no opportunity to review this evidence. The evidence was obtained last night, Your Honor. We're happy to allow opposing counsel to view it now. Judge Morrison nodded. Let's see it. Martinez connected the tablet to the courtroom's display system. Multiple videos began to play. Derek's face on the screen, clearly intoxicated. Derek leaning over Rachel's seat, saying things the microphone barely caught but were unmistakably crude. Derek grabbing Rachel's hair. Derek being restrained by Stone. Derek screaming as marshals dragged him off the plane. The courtroom was silent. Martinez turned to Derek. Would you like to revise your testimony, Mr. Lawson? Derek's face was pale. He looked at his father, at the lawyers, at the judge. I don't remember it that way. You were intoxicated. That's understandable. Martinez's voice was ice. But the cameras remember, and they show a very different story than the one you just told this court. Judge Morrison's face had hardened. Mr. Lawson, are you aware of the penalties for perjury? Derek swallowed. Your Honor, step down, Mr. Lawson, and consider yourself warned. Derek practically fled the witness stand. He didn't look at Rachel as he passed. Harrison stood quickly. Your Honor, my client had no knowledge of his son's behavior on that flight. Whatever Derek did has no bearing on Mr. Whitmore's fitness as a guardian. That remains to be seen, Mr. Harrison. Judge Morrison's voice was sharp. Please call your next witness. We call James Whitmore to the stand. Whitmore rose slowly, playing up his injuries. He walked to the stand with a slight limp that Rachel was certain was fake. After being sworn in, he faced the court with an expression of wounded dignity. Harrison began gently. Mr. Whitmore, can you tell us about your relationship with your daughter, Rachel? Whitmore sighed heavily. I didn't know she existed until recently. Her mother, Eleanor, left me before Rachel was born. I've spent years trying to find them. Why did Eleanor leave? I don't know. Our marriage had its problems, like any marriage. But I never imagined she would disappear with my child. Rachel's hands clenched into fists. And when you finally found Rachel, what happened? I went to see her at the hospital where Eleanor is being treated. I wanted to meet my daughter, my granddaughter. Whitmore's voice cracked. I was so hopeful, after all those years. And what happened instead? She attacked me, without warning, without provocation. She hit me with a metal pole while I was trying to embrace her. Did you threaten her in any way? Never. I just wanted to know my family. Whitmore dabbed at his eyes with a handkerchief. Rachel wanted to vomit. Mr. Whitmore, why are you seeking custody of Lily? Because I'm terrified for her safety. My daughter is clearly troubled. The people she's associating with are dangerous criminals. That child deserves a stable home, a proper education, opportunities that Rachel can't provide. Thank you, Mr. Whitmore, your witness counselor. Martinez stood, took his time, let the silence build. Mr. Whitmore, you said Eleanor left you before Rachel was born. Is that correct? Yes. And you have no idea why none. You didn't abuse her. Objection inflammatory. I'll rephrase. Mr. Whitmore, were you ever convicted of a crime? Whitmore's expression flickered. I served time, yes, a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding that resulted in a 20-year sentence. The charges were exaggerated. The charges were racketeering, money laundering, and witness intimidation. Is that correct? The witness intimidation was dropped. But you were convicted of the others. Yes. And Eleanor testified against you at that trial. Whitmore's mask slipped for just a second. Rage flashed in his eyes before the wounded grandfather returned. She was manipulated by prosecutors. She was your wife, the mother of your child, and she testified under oath that you were a violent, dangerous man who she feared for her life. She was lying. Was she lying when she fled in the middle of the night, when she changed her name, when she spent 34 years hiding from you? Objection, counsel is testifying. Sustained. Move on, Mr. Martinez. Martinez nodded. Marquis Whitmore, what happened in the hospital room before Rachel allegedly attacked you? Nothing. I walked in. I tried to introduce myself. You didn't grab her? No. You didn't threaten her? Absolutely not. You didn't strike your 8-year-old granddaughter across the face? The courtroom gasped. Whitmore's face went red. That's a lie. Zit. Martinez turned. Lily, can you come up here for a moment? Rachel's heart stopped. Martinez, what are you? Trust me, he whispered. Lily walked to the front of the courtroom, small and trembling. Martinez knelt beside her. Lily, can you show the judge your face, the left side? Lily turned. The bruise was still there, faded but visible, a handprint across her cheek. The courtroom was silent. Lily, who gave you that bruise? Lily pointed at Whitmore. That man, the mean one. He hit me when Mommy told him to leave us alone. You're lying. Whitmore surged to his feet. That child is lying. Sit down, Mr. Whitmore. Judge Morrison's voice cracked like a whip. She's been coached. They've turned her against me. I said sit down. 2 bailiffs moved forward. Whitmore sat, but his eyes were wild. The mask was gone. The monster beneath was showing. Martinez turned back to Lily. Thank you, sweetheart. You were very brave. You can go back to your mom now. Lily ran to Rachel and buried her face in her chest. Martinez faced the judge. Your Honor, did I have one more witness? Someone who can speak to Mr. Whitmore's true character. Harrison shot up. Your Honor, we were not notified of any additional witnesses. This witness came forward last night. She's been in hiding for 5 years, afraid for her life. but she's willing to testify today. Judge Morrison considered. Given the circumstances, I'll allow it. Call your witness. The courtroom doors opened. A woman walked in, Ishuan, mid-40s, tired eyes that had seen too much. Grace Chen. She took the stand, was sworn in, and then she began to talk about everything, the money laundering, the bribery, the threats, the violence, the women who had disappeared after crossing Whitmore, the witnesses who had been intimidated into silence, the judges and politicians who were on his payroll. She talked for 45 minutes. When she finished, the courtroom was in shock. Harrison attempted damage control. Your Honor, this testimony is hearsay. This woman is a disgruntled former employee with an axe to grind. I have documentation. Grace's voice was calm. Bank records, recordings, photographs. Everything I submitted to the FBI 5 years ago before Mr. Whitmore's lawyers got the investigation shut down. Lies, all lies. Whitmore was on his feet again. This woman is a criminal, a fraud. Mr. Whitmore, if you don't sit down immediately, I will have you removed from this courtroom. Whitmore turned to the judge, and the last of his composure shattered. You can't do this to me. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I can do? I'll have your job. I'll have everyone's job. Bailiffs. They grabbed him. Whitmore fought, screaming, cursing. It took 3 men to drag him from the courtroom. The doors slammed shut. Silence fell. Judge Morrison removed her glasses, rubbed her eyes. I've been on the bench for 30 years. I thought I'd seen everything. She looked at Rachel. Ms. Turner, I owe you an apology. This court nearly made a terrible mistake. Rachel couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. Based on the evidence presented today, I am denying Mr. Whitmore's petition for emergency custody. Furthermore, I am ordering a full investigation into his affairs, and I will be recommending to the district attorney that criminal charges be filed. Cheers erupted from somewhere in the courtroom. Additionally, I am granting Ms. Turner a permanent restraining order against James Whitmore and Derek Lawson. Neither is to come within 500 feet of Ms. Turner or her daughter. Rachel's tears fell freely now. Lily was clutching her, not understanding what was happening, but sensing that something had changed. Court is adjourned. The gavel fell. It was over. Outside the courtroom, Stone was waiting. He saw Rachel's face and knew immediately. His shoulders dropped with relief. You did it. We did it. All of us. Stone shook his head. No, you did it. You stood up to him. You fought back. You protected your daughter. I couldn't have done it without you. Without any of you. Bones appeared grinning. Hell of a show in there. Heard Whitmore got dragged out screaming like a baby. Something like that. Priest approached, his face serious. It's not over. Whitmore has resources, allies. He'll fight back. Let him try. Stone's voice was steel. We'll be ready. Martinez joined them, looking exhausted but triumphant. The FBI has already reached out. Grace's testimony opened doors that have been closed for years. Whitmore is going down. How long? Weeks, maybe days. The evidence is overwhelming. Rachel felt something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Real, genuine hope. Then her phone rang. She looked at the screen. Massachusetts General Hospital. Her heart stopped. Hello. Ms. Turner. This is Dr. Morrison. I'm calling about your mother. Is she okay? A pause. Too long. I think you should come to the hospital as soon as possible. Rachel's world tilted. How much time? I can't say for certain. Hours, maybe less. I'm on my way. She hung up, looked at Stone. My mother. He understood immediately. Let's go. They moved through the crowd, Lily's hand and Rachel's Stone clearing a path. Outside, the black sedan was waiting. Miguel behind the wheel. They drove through Boston like the city was on fire. Rachel held Lily close, watching the buildings blur past. Mommy, where are we going? To see Grandma Baby. Is she okay? Rachel couldn't answer, couldn't lie, couldn't tell the truth. She wants to see us. That's what matters. They arrived at the hospital in record time. Rachel ran through the corridors, Lily in her arms, Stone keeping pace beside her. Room 412, the door was open. Rachel stopped in the doorway. Her mother was there. Smaller than before, frailer. The machines around her beeped slowly, weakly, but her eyes were open, And when she saw Rachel, she smiled. You came back. I promised. Rachel crossed the room, took her mother's hand. It was cold. So cold. I heard what happened at the courthouse. Eleanor's voice was barely a whisper. You won. We won, Mom. He's finished. Tears slid down Eleanor's cheeks. I'm so proud of you. So proud. Mom, let me finish, please. Eleanor squeezed her hand weakly. I spent 34 years running, hiding, afraid, but you faced him. You fought him, you won. Because of you. You testified against him. You sacrificed everything. And I'd do it again. For you, for Lily. Eleanor's eyes found her granddaughter. Come here, little one. Lily approached the bed slowly, climbed up carefully. Hi, Grandma. Hi, sweetheart. I'm sorry I haven't been there. I'm sorry for so many things. It's okay. Mommy says you were protecting us. Your mommy is very smart. Eleanor coughed weakly. I don't have much time left, but I need you to know, both of you, that everything I did, every choice I made was because I loved you. I know, Mom. Rachel's voice broke. I know. Don't make my mistakes. Don't let pride keep you from the people you love. Life is too short, too precious. I won't. Eleanor's eyes moved to the doorway, to Stone standing there silently. You, come here. Stone hesitated, then approached the bed. I don't know who you are, but I know what you did. For my daughter, for my granddaughter. It was nothing. It was everything. Eleanor reached out, took his hand. Promise me you'll look after them. Stone's jaw tightened. I promise. They're going to need someone, when I'm gone, someone strong, someone who understands what it means to protect the people you love, no matter the cost. I understand. Good. Eleanor smiled weakly. You remind me of someone I knew once, a long time ago, before the world got so complicated. She closed her eyes. Her breathing slowed. Mom, I'm still here, just tired. Eleanor's voice was fading. Rachel, yes, I love you. I always loved you, even when I couldn't show it, even when I pushed you away. You were the best thing I ever did. Rachel sobbed. I love you too, Mom. Take care of that little girl. She's special. I will. And forgive me, please, for everything. I already have. Eleanor smiled, one last smile. Then the machines began to wail. Doctors rushed in, nurses, equipment, shouting, chaos. But Rachel already knew. She held Lily tight as her mother slipped away. And in that cold hospital room surrounded by strangers and machines and the sharp smell of antiseptic, Rachel Turner said goodbye to the woman who had given her life, broken her heart, and ultimately saved her. Stone's hand found her shoulder. She leaned into him and wept. Outside, the sun was setting over Boston. And somewhere across the city, James Whitmore was being transferred to federal custody. His empire was crumbling. His family was gone, and the daughter he had spent 34 years hunting was finally free. But Rachel didn't know any of that yet. All she knew was that her mother was dead, and nothing would ever be the same. 3 days after Eleanor Turner died, they buried her. The cemetery was quiet, small, a patch of green on the outskirts of Boston where the city noise faded to nothing. Rachel had chosen it because her mother had always loved gardens, and this place had roses, wild ones, growing along the fence like they belonged there. Lily held Rachel's hand as the casket lowered into the ground. Mommy is grandma in heaven now. Yes, baby, she's somewhere peaceful. Will she watch over us, like Mr. Stone said his daughter watches over him? Rachel looked at Stone. He stood apart from the small, gathering hands clasped in front of him, face unreadable. I think she will. The minister said words, kind words, words about peace and forgiveness and eternal rest. Rachel heard them but didn't really listen. She was thinking about the last thing her mother had said. Don't let pride keep you from the people you love. When the service ended, people approached. Some she knew, nurses from the hospital who had cared for Eleanor. Some she didn't, members of the Hells Angels who had come to pay respects, though they stayed at the edges, a silent wall of leather and loyalty. Martinez appeared at her side. Rachel, I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for everything you did. There's something you should know. The FBI moved on Whitmore this morning. He's been formally charged. 47 counts, racketeering, money laundering, witness tampering, and now they're looking into older cases, cold cases. How long will he get? Life, maybe multiple lifetimes. Martinez paused. He's never getting out, Rachel. It's over. Rachel should have felt something. Relief, satisfaction, closure. She just felt empty. What about Derek? Cooperating with authorities in exchange for a reduced sentence. Turns out he's not as loyal to his father as he pretended. He's giving them everything: names, dates, locations. So he's going to walk. Not walk, but he won't get life either. Maybe 15 years if he's lucky. Rachel nodded. It wasn't justice, but it was something. Thank you, Martinez, for all of it. Take care of yourself and that little girl. He shook her hand and walked away. Stone approached. How are you holding up? I don't know. I feel like I should feel more, but I just feel numb. That's normal. Grief takes time. How long did it take you after Sarah? Stonewall quieted for a long moment. I'm still working on it. Lily tugged on Rachel's asleep. Up to man. Mommy, I'm hungry. I know, baby. We'll get food soon. Can Mr. Stone come with us? Rachel looked at Stone. He looked back. If he wants to. I'd like that, Stone said. They walked out of the cemetery together. The sun was warm. Birds were singing. Life went on indifferent to grief. At the gate, Priest was waiting. Rachel, got a minute? She handed Lily to Stone. Stay with him, okay? Okay, Mommy. Rachel approached Priest. His face was serious, but his eyes were kind. I wanted to tell you something. About Stone. What about him? In 20 years, I've never seen him like this. Not since Sarah. Priest looked toward where Stone was crouching beside Lily, listening to something she was saying with complete attention. He's different around you. More like the man he used to be. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm saying don't break his heart. Priest's voice was firm. He's been through enough. If you're gonna let him in all the way. If you're not, tell him now before it's too late. Rachel felt her face flush. It's not like that. He's just been helping us. Is it just helping? Priest raised an eyebrow. Ask yourself that question honestly. Then ask him. He walked away before she could respond. Rachel stood there watching Stone and Lily. He was making her daughter laugh, actually laugh, the first real laugh since this nightmare had begun. Something shifted in Rachel's chest, something she wasn't ready to name. They went to a diner near the hospital. It was the kind of place Rachel remembered from her childhood: red vinyl booths, laminated menus, coffee that was always too hot and somehow perfect anyway. Lily ordered pancakes. Stone got eggs and bacon. Rachel just got coffee. She couldn't eat. You need to eat something, Stone said. I'm not hungry. Your body doesn't care. It needs fuel. You sound like a nurse. I've known a few. Lily interrupted, mouthful of pancake. Mommy, what happens now? What do you mean, baby? Do we go home to Phoenix? Rachel hadn't thought about it. Phoenix felt like a lifetime ago. Another world. Another person. I don't know. What do you want to do? Lily considered the syrup dripping down her chin. I like it here, Boston. The people are nice, and Mr. Stone is here. Rachel glanced at Stone. He was very focused on his eggs. We'll see, baby. There's a lot to figure out. Can we stay with Mr. Stone while we figure it out? Lily, she can. Stone's voice was quiet. Both of you can. I have space. It's safe. I can't ask you to. You're not asking, I'm offering. Their eyes met across the table. Something passed between them. Something Rachel couldn't define but couldn't ignore. Just until you figure out your next move, Stone added. No pressure, no expectations. Rachel should have said no, should have maintained boundaries, should have protected herself the way she'd learned to do over 12 years of being alone. But she was tired of being alone. Okay, she said, just for a little while. Stone nodded. If he was happy about it, he didn't show it. But Rachel caught the slight softening around his eyes. And Lily grinned like she'd won the lottery. Stone's house was not what Rachel expected. She'd imagined something dark, rough, full of motorcycle parts and beer bottles and whatever else bikers accumulated. Instead, it was a small Cape Cod on a quiet street. White fence, flowers in the garden, a porch swing that swayed in the breeze. This is yours. Bought it 5 years ago when I retired. It's so normal. Stone smiled slyly. That was the idea. Inside was warm, lived in. Photos on the walls, a little girl at various ages. Rachel recognized her from the picture Stone had shown her on the plane. Emma. Yeah, she's with my sister in California. Been there since this started. Stone picked up a framed photo, a birthday party, Emma grinning, cake smeared on her face. She turns 12 next month. She looks like Sarah. She does. Acts like her too. Stubborn. Brave. Too smart for her own good. Lily was already exploring opening doors, peering into rooms. Mommy, there's a bedroom with a bunk bed. That's Emma's room, Stone called. You can use it while she's away. Lily squealed with delight and disappeared. Rachel stood in the living room feeling out of place. Stone, I don't know how to thank you for any of this. Then don't. I'm serious. You saved our lives multiple times, and now you're giving us a place to stay. I can't. Rachel, he turned to face her. I didn't do this for thanks. I did it because it was right. But why? You don't know me. We're strangers. Stone was quiet for a moment. Then he walked to the window looking out at the quiet street. When Sarah died, I wanted to die too. I had nothing left. No purpose, no reason to keep going. I spent 2 years drowning in whiskey and self-pity. Rachel didn't speak, just listened. Then Emma came to live with me. This little girl who had lost everything, her mother, her home, her whole world. And she looked at me like I was the only thing she had left. His voice cracked slightly. I couldn't save Sarah, but I could save Emma. I could give her a life, a future, something worth living for. He turned back to Rachel. And when I saw you on that plane with that little girl scared and alone, I saw Sarah, I saw Emma, I saw every woman who ever needed help and didn't get it. So we're a charity case? No. Stone's voice was firm. You're a reminder. Of what? That there's still good in the world, that people are worth fighting for. That maybe. He stopped, looked away. Never mind. No, say it. That maybe I'm not too broken to matter. The words hung in the air. Rachel crossed the room, stood in front of him, close enough to touch. You matter, she said. To Lily, to me. Stone's eyes met hers. Something shifted between them. The air felt heavy, charged. Then Lily burst back into the room. Mommy, the bunk bed is so cool. Can I sleep on the top? The moment shattered. Rachel stepped back, face flushed. Sure, baby. Top bunk is yours. Yay! Lily ran off again. Stone cleared his throat. I'll show you to the guest room. Thanks. They didn't speak again about what almost happened, but Rachel couldn't stop thinking about it. 2 weeks passed. Rachel found a rhythm in Stone's house. She cooked meals, helped Lily with homeschool lessons she'd downloaded on her phone, took walks in the neighborhood, tried to process everything that had happened. Stone was a ghost in his own home, present but not intrusive. He made breakfast before Rachel woke up, fixed things that didn't need fixing, spent hours in the garage working on motorcycles that seemed to never get finished. They circled each other like planets in orbit, close but never touching, until one night. Lily had gone to bed early. Rachel was sitting on the porch swing watching the stars when Stone came out with 2 cups of coffee. Can't sleep. Haven't been able to since everything. He handed her a cup, sat beside her, the swing creaked under their combined weight. Me neither. They sat in silence for a while. Comfortable, easy. Can I ask you something, Rachel said. Sure. What happened to Sarah's boyfriend? The one who... Stone's jaw tightened. He's dead. How... Does it matter? Rachel thought about it. No, I guess it doesn't. More silence. The night was cool. Crickets sang somewhere in the darkness. I called my old job today, Rachel said. They're holding my position. Want me to come back? Stone went very still. Oh. I told them I needed more time. How much time? I don't know, however long it takes to figure out what I want. And what do you want? Rachel turned to look at him, his profile in the moonlight, the lines of his face, the gray in his hair, the sadness that never quite left his eyes. I'm not sure yet, but I know I'm tired of running, tired of being afraid, tired of doing everything alone. You're not alone. I know, that's what scares me. Stone turned to face her. Why does that scare you? Because everyone I've ever relied on has let me down. My mother, my ex-husband, friends, family, everyone. Rachel's voice broke. I don't know how to trust anymore. I want to. God, I want to, but every time I start to, I remember what it felt like to be abandoned. And I can't go through that again. Rachel, I know you're not like them. I know you've proven yourself 100 times over. But there's this voice in my head that keeps saying it's too good to be true, that something will happen, that you'll leave or decide I'm not worth the trouble. I'm not going anywhere. You can't promise that. No, I can't. Stone reached out, took her hand. His skin was rough, calloused, warm. But I can promise to try. Every day, for as long as you'll let me. Rachel felt tears building. Why do you care so much? Because you're worth caring about. Because Lily needs stability. Because he stopped, swallowed hard. Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone either. Rachel stared at him, at this man who had been a stranger a month ago, who had saved her life, protected her daughter, opened his home to them, who carried his own grief like a stone around his neck, but still found room to care for others. I'm broken, she whispered. So am I. I don't know how to do this. Neither do I. It could end badly. It could, or it could be the best thing that ever happened to either of us. Rachel laughed through her tears. When did you become an optimist? About 30 seconds ago. She leaned into him, felt his arm come around her shoulders. Solid, strong, safe. We take it slow, she said, as slow as you need. And if it doesn't work, it'll work. You can't know that. I can hope. That's enough for now. They sat there on the porch swing watching the stars wheel overhead. And for the first time in 12 years, Rachel Turner felt something she'd forgotten existed. Peace. 3 months later, everything changed again. Rachel had found a job at a Boston hospital. Lily was enrolled in school, making friends, thriving. Stone's house had become home in ways Rachel never expected. They'd taken it slow like she asked. Dinners together, movies on the couch, walks in the park with Lily between them. Small moments that built into something larger. Then one evening, Stone came home with news. Emma's coming back. Rachel's heart jumped. Next week, my sister's got health issues. Can't take care of her anymore. That's wonderful, Stone. You must be so happy. I am, but he hesitated. There's something I need to ask you. Anything. Would you stay, you and Lily, when Emma comes? Rachel blinked. Stay here with all of us. I know it's fast. I know we said slow, but Stone took her hands. These 3 months have been the best of my life. You and Lily, you have made this house feel like a home again. And I can't imagine going back to the way things were. Stone, you don't have to answer now. Think about it. Talk to Lily. I needed you to know. Rachel looked at this man, this complicated, wounded, beautiful man who had walked into her life on an airplane and refused to leave. I don't need to think about it. You don't know. She squeezed his hands. The answer is yes. Stone's face transformed. The walls came down. The grief lifted. For one moment, he looked young again. Hopeful. Really, Lily adores you. Rachel took a breath. I love you, Stone. I didn't want to. I tried not to, but I do. You love me. Is that so hard to believe? Coming from someone like you, yes. Someone like me. Strong, beautiful, kind of on, everything I don't deserve. Rachel pulled him close. You deserve everything. You just forgot. She kissed him. It was their first real kiss. Not careful, not cautious, real. When they broke apart, Stone was smiling, actually smiling. A full, genuine smile that lit up his entire face. I love you too, he said. I think I have since the moment you sat down beside me on that plane. Even when I was terrified and suspicious, especially then. They held each other in the fading light, and Rachel knew finally completely that she was home. Emma arrived on a Tuesday. She was 11 years old with her mother's dark hair and her grandfather's sharp eyes. She stepped off the plane clutching a backpack, scanning the crowd with the wariness of a child who had learned not to trust too easily. Then she saw Stone. "Grandpa!" She ran, launched herself into his arms. Stone caught her lifted, held her tight. "Hey, little one, I missed you." "I missed you too, so much." When Stone finally put her down, Emma noticed Rachel and Lily standing nearby. "Who are they?" Stone knelt to her level. "Ma, this is Rachel and her daughter Lily. They've been living with me." Emma's eyes narrowed. "Living with you?" "They're family now, or they will be if you're okay with it." Emma studied Rachel with an intensity that was almost unnerving. "Are you going to be my new grandma?" Rachel laughed, startled. "I don't know about grandma, but I'd like to be your friend, if you'll let me." Emma considered this, then looked at Lily. "How old are you, Ina?" 8, almost 9. "Do you like video games?" "I've never really played them." "I'll teach you. I'm really good." Just like that, the tension broke. Lily grinned. "Cool," Emma turned back to Stone. "Okay, I guess they can stay." Stone laughed a real laugh from somewhere deep in his chest. "Thanks for the approval, kiddo." "You're welcome." The four of them walked out of the airport together. A family built not by blood, but by choice, by survival, by love. 6 months later, James Whitmore died in prison. Heart attack. Alone in his cell. No family at his side. No one to mourn him. Rachel found out from Martinez, who called with the news like it was a weather report. "Thought you should know, it's really over now. Thank you for telling me." She hung up, sat in the kitchen of Stone's house, their house now, and waited to feel something. Relief came first, then guilt for feeling relieved. Then something else. Something like sadness, though she couldn't explain why. Stone found her there an hour later. "Rachel, what's wrong?" "Whitmore's dead." Stone sat beside her ears, didn't say anything, just waited. "I should be happy, or at least satisfied. He terrorized my mother, tried to take my daughter, hurt people for decades." Rachel shook her head. "But all I feel is empty." "That's normal." "Is it?" Closure doesn't always feel like we expect. Sometimes the end of something terrible just feels like an end. He was my father, biologically, and I never really knew him. Never had the chance to understand why he was the way he was. Would understanding have changed anything? Rachel thought about it. No, probably not. Then let it go. He's gone. His choices were his own. You don't owe him grief or understanding or anything else. "I know, she wiped her eyes. "I spent my whole life not knowing who my father was. And now I know, and I wish I didn't." Stone pulled her close. "You're not him. Lily's not him. Whatever darkness was in his blood, it ends with you. You broke the cycle." "Did I?" "Look at Lily. Look at Emma. Look at the life you've built. That's your legacy, Rachel, not his." Rachel let herself cry. Let herself grieve not for Whitmore, but for the father she'd never had, the childhood she'd never gotten, the family that had been broken before she was even born. Stone held her through all of it. And when the tears finally stopped, Rachel felt lighter, like a weight she'd been carrying her whole life had finally been lifted. 1 year to the day after Rachel boarded that plane and Phoenix Stone proposed. It wasn't dramatic, wasn't elaborate, just the two of them on the porch swing, watching Lily and Emma chase fireflies in the backyard. "Marry me." Rachel turned to look at him. "What?" "I've been trying to figure out the right way to ask, the right moment, the right words." He pulled a small box from his pocket. "But there is no right way. There's just this, you and me, and I don't want to spend another day without knowing you'll be mine forever." Rachel opened the box. A simple ring, silver band, small diamond, nothing flashy. Perfect. "Stone, you don't have to answer now. I know it's sudden. I know we said slow, but yes." "What?" "Yes, I'll marry you." Stone stared at her. "Really? Did you expect me to say no?" "I expected you to need time, to think about it. 2. Rachel kissed him, long and deep and full of promise. I've been thinking about it for months, she said when they broke apart. Every time I watch you with the girls, every time I wake up next to you, every time I realize how much my life has changed since you sat down beside me on that plane. So that's a yes. That's a hell yes. Stone laughed, slipped the ring on her finger, kissed her again. In the yard, Lily and Emma had stopped chasing fireflies. They were watching, grinning. Does this mean we're really sisters now? Lily asked. I guess it does, Emma said. Cool. They went back to their game, leaving the adults to their moment. Rachel leaned against Stone, watching the girls play. 1 year ago, I was a single mom with nothing. No family, no hope, no future. And now I have everything. Stone kissed the top of her head. So do I. They sat there in the fading light, surrounded by the sounds of laughter and life. A family forged in fire, built on trust, bound by love. The wedding was small, just the club Stone's brothers who had become Rachel's family too. Priest officiated, which probably wasn't legal, but nobody cared. Bones cried. Emma and Lily were flower girls. Martinez came as a guest and stayed for the party. Rachel wore a simple white dress she'd found at a thrift store. Stone wore his leather jacket over a button-down shirt. It was perfect. At the reception, Priest raised a glass. To Stone, who walked into our lives broken and angry and determined to be alone. And to Rachel, who showed him that some things are worth fighting for. He looked at the couple. You taught us all something this year. That family isn't blood. It's choice. It's showing up. It's standing beside someone when the world tries to tear them apart. Cheers rose from the gathered crowd. Stone pulled Rachel close. No regrets. Only that I didn't meet you sooner. We met exactly when we were supposed to. You believe that? I do now. They danced, badly. Neither of them knew the steps. But they held each other and swayed, and that was enough. Later, Rachel found Lily and Emma sitting together watching the adults. You okay, baby? Lily looked up. Her eyes were bright, happy. I was thinking about Grandma, about what she said before she died. Rachel's heart clenched. What did she say to, She said, don't let pride keep you from the people you love. And you didn't. You let Mr. Stone, Grandpa, love us. Rachel knelt beside her daughter. I did, and I'm glad. Me too. I like having a big family. So do I, baby. So do I. Rachel hugged her daughter. Over Lily's shoulder, she saw Stone watching. He smiled. She smiled back. And in that moment, everything was exactly as it should be. 5 years later, they were still together. Stone had retired fully from the club, though the brothers still came around for barbecues and birthdays. Rachel had been promoted to head nurse at her hospital. Lily was 13, starting high school, boy crazy and dramatic, and everything Rachel had ever hoped she'd become. Emma was 16, fierce and independent, already talking about college. And there was someone new, Marcus Stone Jr., 3 years old, named after his father, born on the anniversary of the day Rachel and Stone had met on that plane. Rachel watched Stone chase their son across the backyard, both of them laughing, and felt her heart overflow. Mommy, Junior came running, crashing into her legs. What is it, baby? Daddy said he's going to teach me to ride a motorcycle. Rachel shot Stone a look. Did he now? Stone held up his hands. I said when you're older. Much older. Like 30. 30? Junior's face crumpled. Maybe 25. We'll negotiate. Rachel laughed and scooped up her son. Your daddy thinks he's funny. Daddy is funny. Don't encourage him. Lily and Emma came outside arguing about something, clothes probably or boys. They stopped when they saw the family gathered. Group hug, Junior demanded. You heard the boss, Stone said. They came together, all 5 of them, holding each other in the warm afternoon sun. A family that had no right to exist, a love that had no right to survive. And yet here they were. Stone caught Rachel's eye over for the chaos of bodies and laughter. Happy, he asked. More than I ever thought possible. Me too. They held each other a moment longer, surrounded by the children they loved in the home they'd built together. Then Junior squirmed free and demanded ice cream, and the chaos resumed and life went on. Because that's what life does. It goes on, through tragedy and triumph, through loss and love, through the darkest nights and into the brightest mornings. Rachel Turner had boarded a plane running from everything. She'd found everything instead. A mother who loved her despite the years of silence. A protector who became a partner. Children who filled her heart to bursting. A family forged not by blood, but by choice. And a love that had started with a stranger on a plane and grown into something eternal. She'd spent her whole life believing she didn't deserve happiness, but happiness had found her anyway. Grabbed her hand, refused to let go, and in the end, that was all any of us could hope for. Someone who showed up, someone who stayed, someone who chose us flaws and all. Rachel had found her someone, and she would never let him go, because some stories don't end with the closing credits. Some stories are just beginning, and theirs was the best one of all.